Greetings, this is Skylar Saunders seeing what's current. Now, I have a little issue with my contact, so don't think it's because I'm crying over LeBron. Little issue with the contact. That's all right. We got to get into it. LeBron James is currently, one of the most premier players in the league. Still, over 20 years. 20 years. He's been a premier player. And all right, Rick James, yes, I see you in the live chat. I'm a one-eyed jack right now. My contact is going crazy right now. My left eye. But salute to you. But LeBron James has just been involved in a little tiff, a little, kerfuffle, a little, back and forth between Coach himself and Coach Ide. Let me see if I get his name right. Ime Udoka, the head coach of the Houston Rockets, during the game, the Lakers game with them on Sunday evening. It's hilarious. It's sad. It's a mess. It's messy, child. Like people are going back and forth. Oh, what did he say? Maybe he said little boy. Maybe he said LeBron. Maybe he said tough. Maybe he said this and that. Or they had a Sports Illustrated article that broke it down, beat by beat, what was said on the court. And what transpired was LeBron was given a technical, and Udoka was ejected only because he had a previous technical foul earlier in the game. So that's the reason why he had two techs. So you get out of here. You're done. I don't know what Rick James is talking about, but that's fine too. But yeah, so you have LeBron James, and he's going on about you can't use that word. The word that is most used, the B word. I'm not going to try to say it that much, but it may slip out a few times. But there he was saying, don't use that word loosely. We're both grown men. We're grown men around here. I'm paraphrasing that part, but he's saying now, don't use that word so loosely. He was telling that to Coach Udoka. He was saying, how he was calling LeBron, y'all are acting like bees. And so a little, just not even a fight, not like a battle royale or anything too crazy went on. It just happened to be a different kind of setting for, I think the coach, I don't know how many times he's ever been ejected, but would this have happened? Now, this is the question. If it was Michael Jordan, would would any coach ever step to Michael Jordan and say anything of any caliber of what was said to LeBron? Are they pulling LeBron's card? Are they saying he's soft? Are they saying he can't handle being 20 years deep in the game, 4 championships, losses to the finals, I think at least twice, at least maybe 3 times, but a few MVP awards. Would they have been able to talk to Michael Jordan, who has 6 rings to LeBron's 4 so far, and has never lost in the finals, has multiple MVP rings, multiple triple crowns, MVP at the All-Star game, the league, and in the finals. I just wonder, would Ime have been like, you know what, Jordan, you're acting like a I don't see that happening. I don't know. I think people really disrespect LeBron James. And is it for good reason? Does LeBron bring it upon himself? Does he act like, a B at times? Is that what his whole game is about? what he tries to be. That's what I want to know. I want to know from you, from what you're saying. You can put it in the comment section, put everything you need to do, because it's like, ooh, honey, when it comes to LeBron James in a lot of ways. He's this real, I don't know, he's a strong, frail, young, old man. Like, he has a lot of differences, but after the game, during a press conference, not a press conference, but during a meeting of the media, they asked him, what you guys talked about. LeBron said, we talked about Thanksgiving. We talked about how great Thanksgiving was. Like, I'm paraphrasing that part, but we just talked about Thanksgiving is what he said. He's being very sardonic, very playful and sarcastic, because he knew, if he had said the words, he would have been fine. Okay, Rick James says LeBron is one of the worst to ever step on the court in his opinion. I would have to disagree with you. He's one of the best. He's one of the best to ever do it. He's not the best. He's not the greatest, but he's one of the greatest to ever do it. You got to give him his props. Now, of course, he flops and he gets technicals for that. And they finally gave him a technical foul a few games ago, I think it was, where he was flopping all around and they gave him a technical. They're just like trying to let you know, like, you keep up that kind of behavior, it's not going to be pretty. So that's the marker of what LeBron James has been able to do. He's carried a lot of points. He's surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the most points scored in the NBA. He's got a lot of accolades on him. He's been on multiple teams. He's been on Cleveland Cavaliers twice, the Miami Heat, and what is it? Let me see. Has he been on anything? I think that was it. And of course, Los Angeles Lakers. So, and Rick James is referencing a player that I'm not even sure of called Cherokee Parks. I'm not even sure. I'm gonna look that up real quick. See who Cherokee Parks is. Cherokee Parks. He played 9 seasons in the NBA. He stood at 6'11". Parks played on. Okay. He didn't win anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think he's, Cherokee Parks is even close to him. He was an NCAA champion, but he never won anything in the league. All right, so there's that. So LeBron and Udoka. I mean, why would a coach even step to a player? I can see it was player on player, but this was coach on player, opposite coaches. A coach opposing the other teams. One of their star players. Why is that? Why would that even need to happen? Why did that need to go down? What was the downfall? What was the breakdown of all that? Well, before that, there was a little bit of a tension, beef, and or drama with two players. Their names escape me now, but it really doesn't matter. But they were, he just one of the Rockets players, bumped into a Laker, and said, they had a few words and stuff like that, and LeBron was just looking in the back. And then he heard, I think, from the sideline, he was hating from the sideline, Udoka, and he said, why y'all playing like bees? He was saying that over and over again. Like, he was saying that I think he said it once or twice. And LeBron, he took umbrage to this. He took, a little bit of a offense. And went over to the coach and said, don't use the word so loosely. Don't use that word so loosely. We're all grown men here. So that definitely wasn't anything to do with Thanksgiving. So he was definitely being sarcastic and sardonic and to the press because there was footage, and there's audio available based on our technological age. Because of the age we're in right now, everybody has their phone and their cameras readily available, and they just put it on, put it on for a brief moment. And this guy that's that was showing it from DraftKings. He was saying he didn't even have a name. He just said green pants. That's what they say when when you don't have a name for anybody. You just go by whatever apparel they're wearing at the time. And speaking of apparel, let me give a great salute to Life Strong Company Apparel. This is from a good friend of mine. He has items for sale. You can check him out. He has this moss. He has a sea moss that he has that's very beneficial, it seems. I've never tested it and never tried it, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Peng, that's what I'm talking about. Peng, or his company is Life Strong Company Apparel, and you can check out all his different wares. The site looks wonderful. It looks streamlined and beautiful. I definitely respect him for that. So check him out. Tell him that I sent you. Tell him that Scott Saunders sent you, and we should be able to get this money together. Also, subscribe to Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube.com. He's got jazz. He's got neo soul. He's got soul. He's got R&B. He's got all your favorite singers and hits, playing one after the other. One moment. Hold on. That was a little intermission. Hope you enjoyed it. Contact lens was killing me. Oh my God. For all you out there that have perfect 20/20 vision, do not take that for granted. Okay? It sucks having terrible vision. It sucks. You have to wear all these goddamn contacts, or you get LASIK and they can mess your eye up, or whatever the case may be. It's wow. All right, Greg S is in the building. Salute to Greg S. He's a liar, but salute him anyway. He's a liar, coward, and a nigger, but I respect him anyway. Greg S. So I thank you both for being in here. I'm trying to get as many people in here. I changed up the tags. It's different, ball game right now. No pun intended. I'm talking about basketball. And like it's so goofy because like they talk all that good stuff about NBA cares and we're for the kids. We're giving out donations and but on the court it's like, well, stop acting like little bees and stuff like that. And don't use that word loosely and stuff like that. Going back and tit for tat. But when they get off the court, oh yeah, we're all about giving donations and helping out the food banks and helping out the kids and all that. And now that is good and cool, but it's just weird when you have people on the court doing all kinds of crazy stuff, saying crazy things, doing crazy things, and they get out into the public, and now they're supposed to be golden boys and perfect beings. That's a fault on everybody. I think it's a fault on the players primarily. It's a fault on the coaches as well, and all the staff, the record label and the whole staff. No, it's not record label, but I'm just, you know what I mean. So it's very, weird. It's a goofy space to be in because you're dealing with, caring for the community, quote unquote, and doing all these kinds of charitable, functions and everything like that. But at the same time, you're going back and forth at each other and like ready to be at each other's throats. It's a strange dichotomy. It's a weird way of looking at things. It doesn't seem like altruism. Yes, Greg S is talking sense. Altruism doesn't pay. Not only does it not pay, it's completely evil. It's vicious. He says, haha, I learned a thing or two. Yeah. Yeah, so LeBron and Udoka, Udoka especially, he really should be ashamed of himself. LeBron, is always going to be a mess, when it comes to technical fouls and all those things like that. But for a coach to come at a player, that's goofy as hell. That is so goofy. That is just weird. That's just strange. Like he should have had a lot more reserve. I couldn't imagine the late great Jerry Sloan. I couldn't imagine him doing something like that. Couldn't imagine even Phil Jackson doing something like that. And I couldn't imagine some of the greatest coaches, even in college, Coach K. I can't imagine Coach K. I could only imagine the late, and I don't know if I say he's great. He got championships out of it. But the late great Bob Knight, but he didn't really chastise, from what I understand, other players, teams. He chastised referees and other coaches, but not their players. He chastised his own players. Ime Udoka, yes, he is. I don't know if you meant to put. Greg S says Ime Udoka is a former player. I don't think he meant to put need, but I think he just meant to put is a former player. Yes, he did. He played for. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Ime Udoka. He played for the Spurs, the Sixers, the Nets. Oh, excuse me. That's his assistant. His coaching. Let's see his playing. He played for. Good gracious! What the hell? He played for the Lakers. He played for the God damn Spurs, the Kings, the Trailblazers, the Knicks. He played for some minor league teams. But now he's a head coach of the Houston Rockets. He seems like a hothead. It says here, after retiring as a player, Udoka served as this is a quote from Wikipedia, assistant coach with the San Antonio Spurs, Philadelphia 76ers, and Brooklyn Nets before becoming the head coach of the Boston Celtics, whom he led to the 2002 NBA Finals. After being suspended for the 2022-23 season, Udoka was hired by the Rockets in April 2023. So he seems like a hothead. He seems like he can't control his emotions. Honey. You can't really control your emotions in a man's game. Is that the problem? Honey. Greg S says he needs to go back to Africa. He said he needs to go back to Africa. I think he was born here, actually, though. I think his family is from. Yeah, he was born in Portland, Oregon, but that was funny nonetheless. His family is from Nigeria, but he's actually FBA. He was a foundational Black American. He was born in the United States. But yeah, so it's just goofy. The whole thing is goofy. Black Cuddy on the check-in. Black Cuddy, I don't know if you gave me any money, but if you haven't, make sure you have. But if not, for the holiday season, let 3 people know, not 4 people. Just let 3 people know about this show. Said that, who is this goofy dude with the hat on and the tie? Salute. Just let other people know. That's all you gotta do. Greg asks, he hasn't given $1, but I think he's told people about me. I got 6 likes in here and 3 people viewing. I'm feeling good. I got my contact situation at it. Anybody who knows about contacts knows about that whole, that struggle, that whole contact struggle where the contract goes up in your eye or it goes over to the left or the right. It's just such a but they're great. I love my contacts. So it's just a struggle just to make sure they're all right. I got the monthly, version. I change them out every month, so I can sleep in them. I love doing that. I can wake up and I don't really get dry eyes. I don't have to use the drops at all, like the whole month at all, unless they they get caught up in my eye or something like that. But that's just my struggle. I had to let you guys know where that's why I had that little intermission, for that brief moment. I had to let you guys know where I was. All right. So Greg S says, "Hey, I've given." Yeah. Okay. Black Cuddy says, "Yes, I share your contact. Thank you. Salute to you. You haven't given a dime, but you. Oh, are you sharing? Are you sharing the idea of contacts or my contacts or my name? I don't know what you mean, Black Cuddy. Clarify a little bit more, my friend." Greg S says, "Hey, I've given money just now in the form that you are capable of receiving it." Ooh, that's some deep bullshit. Wow, that's clever. That was just not in the form that you are capable of receiving it. Wow, that's deep. That's like sticking your whole foot in a pile of bullshit. But getting back to bullshit, LeBron James. I mean, this guy's got such a weird storied career. Well, he's going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about that. No question. He's going to get into the Hall of Fame. He reminds me of Drake. Like, they almost have the same trajectory. Like, their careers and how they manifest themselves. They're very successful, completely successful. You can't take away their success. Everybody hates them for whatever reason. But they seem to not, realize it. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Oh, the show to other friends. I thought you were talking about contact lenses. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. That's why I have 4 people watching right now. That's good for me. 4.3, somewhere around there. Sometimes it goes up to 8, 9, 10. The most I ever had was like 239. That was when, if he's still on here, Rick James with the Paul Rubin show. That was my greatest show ever. I just he died so I could live. So yeah, I appreciate that, Black Hoodie. Represent, salute to you, and continue to tell more people so I can grow this network, so I can tell more people about the truth and reality of this game, about the war. I'm bullshitting, but like I said, Drake and LeBron are similar. Like, just the way people think of them. Like is Drake the greatest? Is LeBron the greatest? Like, come on now. There's Michael Jordan still walking around, and Jay-Z still walking around. Like, come on, watch your mouth, But they have created that. Yeah, Rick James says the late great Paul Rubin show was the best ever. We should revisit that topic. Not today. Not today. Not today. Maybe on the anniversary of his birth or his death, we will revisit it. Maybe, and that's a real strong maybe. Yeah, I can't do the ruler shows anymore though. They didn't give me any money. They slowed me down. They really did. I mean, I got a few views here and there, and I got a few dollars here and there, but they weren't, strong. Not strong as it is now. I just made a little over $300 last month, and this is all public knowledge. Cash App doesn't ask for personal account money or anything like that. Rick James totally butchered my title. Ruler of the Kingdom of Thai Skulls. It was great read. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, if it was such a great read, I need you to tell everybody that you know. I'm glad you did. You already did this. You did tell, somebody that you might not like anymore about it. So just continue to tell people about it. I get more money that way. And that's what this whole internet game is all about. Anybody tells you different, so you can learn, you can talk to your friends, you can get on the social network. It's about money, like everything else. Money isn't everything, it's the only thing. She rioted it? Samantha rioted it? Is that what you meant to say? Rick James? She rioted it? I'm confused. But I'm in a good position right now. I'm in a really good position, spiritually, financially, mentally, psychologically. Enjoyed it. Okay. She enjoyed it. Great. I appreciate that, Rick James. I really do. I honestly do. I'm not even bullshitting. I'm not kidding. I sincerely appreciate that. All right. So, LeBron James and Ime Udoka. I mean, it's so goofy. The whole game, like, I'm gonna get into the next topic. I couldn't fit it all into my other headline, but the issue about sports and government, I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna talk about it. I did a little bit of light reading. I did a little bit of light watching, but I'm just gonna speak from off at the top of the dome what I understand the idea of government and sports and what they mean. And so why we care about sports, why we care about LeBron James saying all this. He didn't say. It's weird too because LeBron got a technical for trying to tamp down the situation. He tried to control himself. He was just saying watch your words. I guess you can't say watch your don't be reckless with words like be. It rhymes with snitch. So it was very strange to me. I got 7 likes. I'm liking this. I got 7 likes so far. I'm feeling this. 3 people in here. Yeah, the I'll break it down. LeBron's was his first technical, which is weird. I didn't understand that really. But Udoka's, he had a previous technical found earlier in the game, and then he had the 2 technical. Once you get 2 technicals, you get ejected. So I feel this. Pause. Yeah. So good. Great. Pause on all of y'all. So all right. So I'm gonna just get right into this the second half of the show. Even though I took a few moments off, but it was important. My eye health. Ime Udoka is corny. Salute to height. Salute to height. We're gonna still talk about it because it still is related to sports, so we can still talk about it. I want to know what you think of sports and government, especially the federal government in the United States of America, because that's what I'm concerned with mainly. I can go around the world and with my hands behind my back and my eyes closed, but I just want to talk about the world. I want to say, excuse me, I want to talk about the United States. United States of America. We have four major male-dominated sports: hockey, football, baseball, and basketball. We have NASCAR. There's soccer. There's minor league. There's women's games. All kinds of different athletes perform here to get ready for the Olympics to do all sorts of games. I got 8 likes, and I'm liking this. But they all practice to do things. So what is it about sports, especially? What is it about sports? Is the government controlling sports? I mean, they have some kinds of what's the word? Government. I guess you can say intrusion, but it's another word. A government subsidies. Government subsidizes sports in certain circumstances. There's contracts with the military. That's why they do flyovers and different things like that. That's why they have the huge flags over the field with the National Guard and the different elements of the different armed forces. So I was watching a video about this. This must be back in the 70s or 80s. He was astonished that a guy was getting $6 million a year. He was like, $6 million a year. That's pennies now. That's nothing. That is tripe. That's like chicken feed. It's bird seed. Nothing. $6 million. You get $6 million in 2 games now. Whoever is playing one game, you can get $6 million. I mean, they got football contracts and basketball contracts, and the baseball they have no salary cap, so they can get hundreds of millions of dollars and not have to worry about that's enough. You can't do anymore. Serious. So, what does sports mean? What does sport mean? Sport comes from the word desport, also meaning to divert, to divert your attention. What are we diverting from? Are we diverting from the government? Are we not asking questions? That's what the guy in the video was. I don't even know his name. I don't even know if I'll be able to find the video again. But he was just saying the emperor. He was making the analogy, the president and the emperor, but of ancient Rome. He was saying how in ancient Rome, he had the circus. Give the people the circus. I'm not talking about the today's circus, which is similar to it, but it's not the exact same thing. But sports, are quote unquote the circus. Yes, Rick, you're exactly right. Yes, but I was just saying that there's a word in English called the sport as well. Um, but he said Rick James says in Spanish it's called deportes de por divertido. So I appreciate that. Oh, Keith is coming in. Keith is he's in the building. Professional sports is different. The NBA, MLB, and NHL generate their own revenue. No government help. That's true. But there are contracts with the government to have different things like flyovers and having the humongous flag cover the field and stuff like that. I'm saying that's the involvement. That's the only involvement. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. So he was saying how what does the emperor do? And when the people are questioning and getting inquisitive and want to know more about their rights and how they should be protected. The circus. Everybody loves a circus. They would have the people in the round. People be they feed the Christians to the lions. You'd have all kind of different ideas, and that's where you get from the movie Gladiator. Are you entertained? Are you not entertained? Isn't that why you're here? That's Russell Crowe's character in in Gladiator. One of the most famous scenes in all of human in American cinema and world cinema too. But that's the basics of it. That's the reality. We just imagine, just remove all sports from existence. I mean, little league, everything. Just imagine we had no sports. It'd be a boring world. I'm not for getting rid of sports. I'm just questioning. I'm just asking. I'm actually for the idea of people making multi-million-dollar deals and endorsement deals, and college kids getting name, image, and likeness, and voice, I guess it should be. With their name, image, likeness, and voice on different apparel and movies and TV shows and commercials. That is beautiful. I think that's a beautiful thing. How people from broken families and rundown homes and off the block and off the the mean streets and the backwoods can come together and achieve a common goal by being individuals. That's beautiful. I think that's a great thing. I love sports. I think sports is wonderful. That's not what I'm asking here. What I'm asking is, what if it wasn't in existence? What would that be like? What would that seem like? Keith says, I agree. Sports is a form of entertainment. And since I have 5 people here, let me do another ad. Let me do a break. Check out my friend Peng, his products from Lifestrong Company Apparel. I have links in the above me, above of the chat. So check out his different sea moss and all the different things that are available. I've never tried it, so I can't recommend it. I can only recommend the site. Because it looks like a beautiful site, but I can't recommend the actual product. I would imagine it's good. He's a good guy. He makes a good product. I'm sure. I'm gonna have to buy some myself. I'm probably have to buy some for Christmas. Buy a Christmas present for myself. Yeah. So also check out and subscribe to B Jackson 5478 on YouTube.com. Tell them that I sent you. Skylar Saunders, of course. Subscribe to Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube.com. R&B, soul, neo soul, jazz, smooth jazz, all the greats. So check all those out. Thank you very much. Okay, so Keith says no sports, no life. In a lot of ways, that's true. That's athletes spend their entire lives honing and perfecting and working on and eating the right diets and training and using fitness and all these different things to make themselves the best they can possibly be physically and mentally. And I know we've in the past few years we've learned that there's mental strain on a lot of the Olympic players, like Michael Phelps. He suffers from depression. He's got 38 gold medals. He doesn't have 38 gold medals. I'm just exaggerating, but he has a lot of gold medals. I don't know how many he has. I'm not going to look it up real quick, but he has a lot of gold medals. And you would say, oh, he achieves. He got in trouble for that weed thing and whatever that happened. But overall, he came in on top. He's still a champion. But he has depression. He deals with some chemical imbalance in his brain that says that he should be sad. There's now I have to look up her name. I always say it's one person's Simone Biles. Simone Biles. She suffers from what is called the twisties. She suffers and other ailments, I think, something like that, other mental ailments, but something called the twisties. When she's in the air, she's doing all those flips and everything, You better watch out, Greg. She's got a boyfriend. I think is she not married? I don't know, but I definitely know she had a boyfriend. But Greg says Simone Biles is hot. Yeah, she's hot on the balance beam, on the beam, on the, on the gymnastics floor. Let's say she's hot doing that. Let's not go by her physical attributes, which are she's beautiful, but I wouldn't say she's hot. Like you want to date her or something like that. But no, so she goes by. She has the twisties. That's when she's in the air, she's tumbling and going over and over, and she's not sure if she's going to land on her feet. There's no way of knowing, or it's very difficult in knowing if you're going to land on your feet or not. So she has that issue, but she's still doing her own thing. She's got, I think, at least 2 moves credited to her name. It's like the Simone Biles 360 or something crazy like that. But oh, ain't no dating involved. Hey, you talking real spicy, my friend. You talking real spicy. Rick J says the hottest girl I've ever seen is still Barbra Streisand. Yes, Barbra Streisand is still one of the hottest chicks in the game. Still, she's like 70 or 80 or something like that, and she's still hot. Still hot. So, again, I return to my question. What if there were no sports? What would it be like? Because would we then petition the government for, our rights, our individual rights? Would we care more so than concerned with whether somebody throws a ball down the field or throws a ball into a hoop or scores into a goal with a black puck or hits a white ball, or am I going on and on and on, kicks a black and white ball into a net? Like, just imagine that. Just imagine if there were no, in the hundreds of billions, maybe even trillions of dollars, could be hundreds of billions, but maybe even trillions of dollars that would be sucked away from all the sectors of, the business of sports. There would be no sports analysts. There would be no side, line reporters, questioning the coaches. There would be no coaches. Just imagine that. Just put that in your mind. Just see what that would be like. I mean, I would hate that. I would hate that day because sports is our last vestige of greatness, of human achievement. You can't really get it too much in the movies. You get, the Marvel and the DC universes. Can you say universes? Is that right? I don't know. But you wouldn't get much in the way of heroes. Everybody is very sardonic and sarcastic and ironic, and there's anti-heroes and or just non-heroes, going around. I watched the movie The Killer. I'm like, this is all about some dude killing people. Like, wasn't the main character that was trying to be give him a point of view of saying like there's a killer on the loose or something like that. It was like the main point was showing how this person was a killer. It was a beautifully rendered movie. It's wonderfully shot, great, pacing and everything. It's great, but the intention, the idea of it was kind of I was a little taken aback from it. Rick James says I'm a recreational user of angel dust. Greg asks. That's another thing too. I mean, with sports, I mean, even if there were no bans, I don't think there would be athletes that would take, a lot of drugs. I mean, during the 70s and 80s, there were some guys that, did cocaine. Daryl Strawberry's one, and I'm just pointing him out. There were multiple people, and of course, in baseball. Hold on, let me get Keith because I'm about to go hard. Pause. Just imagine if there were no black sports athletes. Yeah, that's true too. And he also goes on to say, would people be interested in watching sports if there were no black sports athletes? That's very Greg S says pause. And once again, I have to salute Keith because it's 6:45 in the morning in Japan right now, and he's up watching my show. I appreciate that tremendously. I really do appreciate that. So, but okay, so I'm going hard on baseball. Just going to go hard on baseball. This is like a side note, but this is what I'm talking about. There should be steroids, any other thing, any enhancement, performance enhancing drugs, PEDs, performance enhancing drugs. The bat should be made from aluminum. I'm going crazy. But I want it to be that way. That's what I want to see. I want to see 88 home runs. I want to see like 6 or 7 grand slams in a game. I want to see all that. I want to see everything. I want to see people tweaking. I want to see the guys, going like this and their veins popping out of their legs and their arms and then hitting the ball, into the parking lot or into the next, the city street. That's what I want to see for baseball. That's what I want to see. Performance enhancing drugs and aluminum bats. Because they're like, oh, they cheated. They used corks in their bats and they changed what was it with the Astros? They cheated somehow. They cheated with the something they cheated with. But I'm not saying the cheat. I just want to see them with the baseball bats made of aluminum, and I want to see them with. I don't want to see pens. I want to see performance enhancing drugs. I don't want to see. Hi, my name is Jose Canseco, and I attest to the following is true. I don't want to see baseball players on on the stand for a government here a congressional hearing. That's just ridiculous. And that goes back to government. Government can crack down on baseball and other sports. There's CTE going on in football, and the government is investigating that. Wait a minute, hold up. I don't even know what is. Do you meant to say that? Show. Hold on. I don't even know what that is. Hold on. I don't know what you're talking about. I try to look it up. Yeah, CTE is Jeezy's label. That's right. But it also means, hold on. He means corporate thugging, entertainment. But it's also chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which I think came in existence a lot earlier than corporate thugging entertainment. But Keith says, "Goddamn, scholar, Shoana Tana is giving MLB all this." You have to rephrase that, or make sure I can make sense of it and understand it. I want to hear you. I want to see what you're saying. Make sure you have it right. Well, I don't think Rick James is here, so Billy Spleen is on the check-in. Say hi to Billy Spleen. Shohei Otani. Shohei. Okay, so he's a free agent. He could become a $600 million man as a free agent. Who is this guy? Showtime. I never even heard of this man. I don't follow baseball until October. And sometimes in July when during the All-Star game. But I don't really follow baseball like that. I follow hockey, football, and basketball mainly, and sometimes baseball. Oh, I'm right here. Oh, hey, once again, y'all got to work that out on yourself. The best baseball player since Babe Ruth. That's saying a lot because you're mixing Willie Mays, you're missing Joe DiMaggio, you're missing Hank Aaron, you're missing baseball. If you want to say baseball period, got Josh Gibson. Come on now, come on, Height. I'm with you, man. I'm with you, but come on, you gotta come strong. Otani hits home runs and pitches. That is why. Okay. Yeah, Jackie Robinson too. I heard he was a sellout, but I'm not going to say nothing else. With Willie Mays, not Billy Mays, the cleaning infomercial guy. Maybe he was maybe Billy Mays, but not Willie Mays. Yeah, Billy Mays was the guy who died. He was the ShamWow, not, or maybe it wasn't the ShamWow. I don't. It was one. It was many products. OxyClean, I think, something like that. But like I said, I just want to go back to my Booby Gibson. I don't even know who that is. But I just want to go back to my original, idea. I didn't even have enough room in the I didn't have even enough room in the title. Dang, y'all are giving me names for people. Do you mean Daniel Gibson? Is that who you're talking about? 37 years old, American former professional basketball player who was now development coach and scout for the Cleveland Charge. Is that who you're talking about? I'm just trying to get that together. But anyway, do you think that government should have more of a hold on sports? Do you think that? Do you think that it should interfere in sports? I don't. I don't think it has anything to do with it. It's private. But maybe you could have a different understanding. I just want to know, again, sports, are such a pivotal and and, ingrained idea in American ideas and thoughts. I'm not talking about the world. The world cares about football. That is their primary concern. Around the globe, it's football. It's all about football. I mean, they have basketball. Sometimes they have rugby and Australian football and stuff like that, and that's cool. But they're mainly all about football. But I'm talking about America, United States of America. What would it be like? Because that's what the question is. Are we diverting our attention? Are we diverting our principles, our ideas, our thoughts away from what government is doing? It's like, hey, they're just focused on the game. They don't give a damn. We can do whatever the hell we want. We can tax them as much as we want. We can say they can't live here. They can say they can't live there. We can put them up in this place. We can put them over here. It's all sports. Thank God for sports. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Father, in the name of the blood. Thank you for sports, because they'll start asking questions. They're like, hey, wait, why is there taxes? Why is there taxation? Why are there our government schools? Why is their economics and government together? Why is science a part of education? Why are their ideas a part of government? All these things work together. Keith says, government intervention in what capacity? Players' pay or professional teams' payroll? I don't know. You tell me. I'm not for it at all. I wouldn't want any part of government intrusion or intervention in sports. I think that would be evil. That would be vicious. That'd be horrible. Rick James says, I thank the Lord for two things, sports and women, both of which should not be regulated by the government. Well, I can't agree with you on the God part, or the Lord part, but I agree with you on the fact that sports and human beings, like women especially, shouldn't be regulated by the government as individuals, especially. Keith says professional sports bring in a lot of revenue for the IRS. Yes, facts on facts on facts on facts. Just imagine all the foreclosed homes and the different people that had to sell their rings and their championship trophies and all their cars and stuff like that because they couldn't pay their taxes. They just couldn't pay them. They got to a point where they either evaded or just didn't have the money to pay them. Just blew all their money on coke and whores, up their nose and out their hose, and They just said, I ain't got it. I can't. They foreclosed. They had bankruptcy. Rick James is singing a song, I think. He's got lyrics in the chat. And it's not about money buying you love. Only love can come through the integration of your mind and the fact that you value somebody in the highest capacity. Has nothing to do with money. Money is different. Money is a value that you use to trade and trade value for value. It's different. So, with all of the different ideas of what sports can be and what sports are. Sports are what we, should I say sports is? Sports are, sports is, sports. I'll say sports are. Sports are great. Like I said, they're our last vestige of hope for heroes. They can say, I want to, be the best. I don't want to be better than the next person or the next, boxer or tennis player or golf player or surfer or hiker or I don't know what is that a sport? Is hiking a sport? I don't know. Maybe I said that wrong. Skier or a snowboarder. All these different sports. I mean, fencing, if you want to say, it's curling. It's like people want to see sports no matter what they are. When we get to see those around the Olympics, we'll see them next year. I think they're having them in 2024. But that's one of the things that kept us together, even though it was weird to see this, sports being played, for the Olympics around COVID-19. That was a strange, goofy, weird, spot to be in when you were in sports. It was a weird area, but my whole mission tonight is to ask, what would it be like? I know we're not ancient Rome. A lot of people want to say, oh, America's just like Rome. America's Rome. We have a Declaration of Independence and a Constitution that prevent us from ever being like Rome. Those are the two founding documents that keep us from being like Rome. Rome didn't have those documents. Rome didn't have the Declaration, the most important political statement of all time. Didn't have it. So we have to look at that as that. Rick James says, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. No, but the guy in the video was saying, like, what do you give him? They give him the circus, give him entertainment. Let them see what the lions do to the Christians. Let's see what happens. Because then, you take away sports. I'm just saying hypothetically. I'm not saying, that they should do this. I'm not saying, take away sports and you're like, wait, what? Why are people, coming into this country and getting welfare? Why aren't people coming to this country getting and denied welfare? They want to work. They just want to have a little time to get their lives together. And once they get that, they'll be at work. Keith says 35 to 40 years ago, the standard price of a professional sports ticket was $35. Today, average price of sports tickets costs $100. Little thing called inflation. And I'm all about inflation because whenever there's inflation, that's when I have more money in my pocket. I get paid more. So I'm happy with that. So, okay, Height says it was less than $35 40 years ago. Yeah. Rick James says the government are like Smurfs. How are they like Smurfs? Please enlighten me, Rick James, how the government are like Smurfs. Oh my God. You take me on a different world, different tangent sometimes, man. You really do. But in the end, if I have to sign off on this note, okay, question is, and who is that hot chick Smurf in that analogy? Oh man, I like Height comes back with the clapbacks. But I have to say, sports are wonderful, great. They give you metaphors. He's the Michael Jordan of. She's the Maya Hamm of. Mia Hamm of. She's the Simone Biles of. It just greatness. He's the LeBron James of. Like I said, I made a connection with Drake. I think they're along the same lines. They get a lot of hate, but they keep on going. They keep doing their thing. Sometimes I hate on them, but regardless, they made an immense success of themselves, and they should be a part of that. And all the sports, especially all sports, should be completely relieved from government. We should be able to think without government, taking away sports or sports stopping. That's the only way it could stop if government shut it down, which probably wouldn't see a day, happening because they make too much money. Like, who was it said? Who's in the? Oh, Keith said revenue for the IRS. Yeah, how much money, on sports? So that's all I want to say on that. All right, now you got 5 percentage points to ask me whatever questions you like. I have 5 people viewing right now, 8 likes. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling myself. And Greg S comes in, pause. And I say, resume. So, anybody got any questions for me? I got 4 percentage points left. If we don't have any questions, we can wrap it up right now. Somebody's typing. Somebody's about to get off a message. Are you going to see the new Godzilla movie? No. I don't like those. I'm not feeling those movies. Skylar, World Series or Super Bowl? Super Bowl. Super Bowl is like amazing. When will we get a reunion with the Blue Room? There will be no reunion with the Blue Room. We're staying on Cowboys. Go Boys! They're gonna win. I don't know when they're playing, but they're gonna win whenever. Thoughts on Katie Morgan? She's a professional. That's all I can say. She's a professional. She's an actress. She's an adult. How's Papa Saunders doing? I think he's outside right now and blowing away leaves. You might be able to hear it. You hear that? I don't know if you can. Hopefully you can't, because it mess up the stream. Any more questions? You guys can ask me anything and everything now. Christmas plans. Staying at home, giving gifts to the littles, and that's it. And eating. That's it. Oh, have you seen Beverly Loughlin yet? Yeah, I did see it. I didn't like it. I didn't like I think his name is, what's his name? Chris Robinson? Is that his name? I didn't like his character. He's grunting. Like, what is that? Well, whose idea? No, his name isn't Chris Robinson. Is it Craig Robinson? Yeah, Craig Robinson. Craig Robinson's character got on my nerves. It was completely awkward. It was too awkward. It was over the top awkward. So you don't like the black actors? I see how it is. Did I say that? No, I said I don't like his character because he makes blacks look like buffoons. Until he's, I'm not gonna give away I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's a scene where he relieves the tension and my own kind of like discomfort, and he does have a scene where he does that, but beyond that, I didn't like it. Last question, Skylar, Coke or Pepsi? Heroin, no. I say Coke. I say Coca-Cola. Yeah. Right now, whoever's going to pay me the most. That's what Dave Chappelle said. He said, they asked him the same question, Coke or Pepsi. He said, whoever was paying me at the time. Dominican, me no black. What is that? I'm not Dominican. I'll keep telling you that. I don't even know where you got that from. The Reebok or the Nike? Nike. Yes, it was weird. Yeah. Have you ever used angel dust? I'm waiting for my dealer right now. I have never used angel dust. I don't plan on to, but if you want to sit in your home and do it by yourself and not harm anybody else, go for it. I wouldn't champion you doing it. I wouldn't say you should do it. I would say you should go to rehab. But if you're going to do it, at least do it by yourself and don't harm anybody else. Height. Do you think a ticket of The Rock and Tom Hanks would win presidency? I don't even want to think about that. That would be a disaster. Rick. Okay, Keith says Rick James, British Knights. I'm British Knights. Seems like the type to rob angel dust dealers. Well, I wouldn't rob anybody. I've never robbed anybody. I just stole from people. I've stolen before. Rick James, I go out whenever I do it. You shouldn't. I would say, angel dust is pretty serious. Unless you can control yourself and you're not high behind the wheel. I mean, I say go for it, but I wouldn't recommend anybody using drugs. I would just say they should be legal, right? Nonetheless. Rick James says, I like roaming the streets. Okay. Promise. Last question, Scott. Popeyes or Churches? Popeyes. Come on. Don't even play with me. I almost cannot even answer that because I didn't have, Keith is asking me this. I don't think I've ever had Churches. But I know that Popeyes is banging. Popeye's chicken has a special flavor to it that no other chicken has. It's their herbs. It's their secret recipe of herbs and spices that they use. Last time you had a ramen noodle, months ago. I haven't had ramen noodles in months. I think because we figured out you can get cancer from eating ramen noodles if you eat too much. I think I don't want to say. I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't want them suing me. Last time you had where were you ever a fan of your own? Whoa, Rick James, were you ever a fan of own age pranks? Like what? Doorbell Dixie and what? Calling up people and hanging up the phone and stuff like that? What do you mean? Love that chicken from Popeyes. I'm not even doing a commercial for them. They got to pay me. They got Coke, Pepsi, and Popeyes and Churches got to pay me. All right, KFC, they got to pay too. KFC, I'm not going to knock KFC. KFC is pretty good and it has its own original flavor. I just haven't had it in a long time. My dad doesn't really like it. So if my dad doesn't like it, we don't like it, You got to buy for the whole house. Gatorade or Powerade? This is special because we only had Powerade in the Marines. There was no Gatorade. So I only, I consume mostly Powerade. So I'm going to do a switch up and say Pedialyte. How you like that? Pedialyte. Bojangles? I can't say. It's not in my area. I don't think there's a Bojangles or Churches in Delaware, but there's a Raisin Cane. Raisin Cane is okay. It's not bad. I just don't think there's much of appeal to it. Would you rather take home for your father's approval Mia Khalifa or Katie Morgan? Katie Morgan. I have to take the snowflake. But I wouldn't take her home because she's somebody that you run into and you don't really take her to mom and dad. You just do your thing with her and maybe go out a few times, but you don't really bring her home. Pollo Campero. Pollo Campero. I don't know if I ever had Pollo Campero. What is in Campero? I know pollo is chicken. What is in Pollo Campero? It sounds like dog. I know pero is dog. Chicken and dog. Is that what you're saying? Pollo con pero? Can't answer that, Rick James. I don't know. It is like the KFC of Spanish. I never had it. Sounds like Breaking Bad. Sounds like Pollos and Hermanos. sounds like Gus should be serving me. If you could learn one language a day, which would you learn? Japanese. Because I think it's one of the most difficult, or one of the either Cantonese or Mandarin. Either Cantonese, Mandarin, or Japanese. That's what I would like to know. I would like to know what the hell those symbols mean. Keith, help me out. What do those symbols mean? Now laters or Chico stick? Now laters. Now laters, of course. Favorite Cowboys member? First one that comes to mind is Emmitt Smith. I remember when I was a little kid, all I heard, Emmitt Smith running. He's rushing through. Emmitt Smith. That's all I heard. But I think maybe Troy Aikman would probably, be the one because he was very skilled in the pocket as a quarterback. I don't know what kanji is. What is kanji? But Keith, help me out with the language, the characters that look like little houses. How do you decipher that? I don't no clue what any of that means. I don't even know what that means. And it's not even just Japanese, other countries from in Asia. I have no clue what that stuff means. I'm sure you have some kind of understanding from being over there. I don't know what kanji is. Hey, I'm down to 17%. If I go any lower, my MacBook's gonna restart itself and crazy. Okay, that's what it means. I didn't even know it. See, I learned on my own show. You guys learn from me, and I learned from you. Excuse me. I didn't even know it was called kanji. I didn't even know what it meant. Well, I from the setup I have right now, see what had happened was I have to charge it up in the Cowboys room, and there's no outlet other than the one where the light is and the one that's hooked up to the printer. And if you hook it up to the print, you take out the printer, it starts over, and you have to do all this stuff behind. It's just a mess. So I don't have anything hooked up. I don't have it, charged up. Maybe one. That's what I'm saying. I got to get enough funds so I can get to a different place, set up where I can have the MacBook charged. But I appreciate that, Keith, for telling me that's kanji. If I pronounce it, is it kanji or kanji? I might be even saying it wrong, but thank you for letting me know that. I didn't know that before. But hey, it's getting late. I see the red bar. I gotta get out of here. It's got a red bar on the battery. Thank you very much for everybody that came through. Height's already saying peace. When Height says peace, I'm saying peace. Rick James, Keith, who else came through here? Rick James, Keith, Greg S, all of y'all. Black Cuddy came through for a little while. The name that shall not be mentioned came through in a little while. I'll give him his initials, BS. How about that? But I appreciate you all. Thank you very much. And I will see you, if not tomorrow, Wednesday. Thank you very much again. Take care.